So in one of the dad communities that I participate in, there was this comment that was posted, and it was too good not to share the wisdom because I've talked about it in different ways here. I did my blog post / episode on guns may get all the attention, but words are doing more damage to our kids. And the information that was in the comment and the wisdom goes like this. Your words are like toothpaste. Once out of the tube, they can never go back in. Ooh, let that sink in. Your words are like toothpaste. Once out of the tube, they can never go back in. Why is this important? Why am I sharing that your words are like toothpaste and they can never go back in? Because once you think about that, it makes perfect sense. But why is that important as a dad? Why is that important at work? Because as I highlighted, that words do more damage than gun violence ever will. Gun violence has its own category of negative hell on earth that it is. But words are still doing more long-term damage at a more pandemic level than we even realize. Your words to your kids, and I am guilty of this, like there's several words that I wish I could take back that once said, I can't. And then until that moment when your kids are reflecting back and you're like, man, I shouldn't have said that word to my kids. Because what happens is your language to your kids becomes their inner critic. Here, say that again. Your language to your words becomes their inner critic. Now, I've also talked about this, that you have a voice inside your head. It's this asshole in the back of your head that kind of always generally finds something wrong with what's in front of you. That voice isn't yours. That voice is generally the words that you consumed and the stories and the sentences of how other people around you when you grew up saw the world. Your words to your kids is that equivalent. Your words are like toothpaste. Once they're out, they can never go back in. And once they are in your kid's head, they are very difficult to change. This is probably the number one piece of advice that I would go back and send myself when I just became a dad some 10 years ago. Your words will have more impact on your kids than you ever will realize. And spend more time understanding the words, understanding the definitions, understanding what words do we want to be no tolerance words. Like right now, because I'm trying to pull back on some things, we have some tolerance words. We don't use the word hate towards each other. There is some gray area where they say they hate broccoli or something, but I'm trying to get them to not use that word at all because hate is a strong word. Millions of people have died in World War II because one man hated an entire race. So hate has a very negative connotation. So I'm trying to remove that word from the vocabulary to use it onto others. Because even now with two girls and a boy in the middle, my son often has this thing where the girls just hate me. And that's something he's dealing with. He's 8, but that's still something he's dealing with. Another word, disgusting. Now, that sounds like an easy word that, yeah, some things are disgusting. But what I've also realized is how many people attach that word to themselves. How many people attach the word disgusting to I am disgusting? It's not okay. That would be a horrible mindset for a daughter to grow up in. So think about the words that you are putting into your kid's head. Think about the words that you want to pull back and say these are no tolerance words. Saying them, you'll get a warning. Continue use of them, you'll get a consequence. It's not easy, but I believe this is a noble choice because what I've also learned through the crux of people's human development is most of our issues in life come down to we don't have the vocabulary to understand what we're feeling. We don't have the vocabulary to understand where we could go. And we don't understand the vocabulary to let stuff go. And vocabulary is just words. So the question is, what words are you letting out of the toothpaste, out of the tube? Because once they're out, you can't put them back in. And the ones you let out are the ones that are going to get sticky. The ones you let out more often are going to be even more sticky. That advice came from Joe Bailey, who runs the Reman podcast. Go check it out. Amazing podcast about faith and redefining your role as a man within faith and in your relationship to God. So Joe, great advice about words and toothpaste. That is all I have for you today, guys, and I'll be back again with you guys tomorrow.